shit at the pilot. Niggas be broken, be sober, but still talking shit like they got it. They say that they got it, time money, these niggas gon' say that they got it.
Oh my God.
Get out with the kid and success, and these niggas gon' blame it on talent. They don't wanna see you win. They don't wanna see the race. You don't wanna see a bitch caught up in the stars like she out of space. Mention that they kinda at the mention and I'm running out of space.
Here we go. Welcome back to another episode of the City of Brotherly Love Sportscast. It's a good fucking day to be a Phillies fan, I tell you that much. JT coming back, baby. 5 years. Once again, your co-hosts Dylan and Blake. If you haven't yet, week by week, hit them likes, hit them subscriptions. Come on, keep supporting. We love what you guys are doing for us. Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We're on everything now. Twitter. Only thing we're still working on is Spotify, but hey, we're going to get it. They're fucking around with us, so hey, we'll see how it is, though. Our quick shout out to Heart of Philly, as always. Hit him up. Still working on some more stuff for him, but he's gonna hook us up real soon. We got some good stuff on the mantle today, but hey, first topic's gotta be JT, baby. It's gotta be 5 year, 115 mil. What's that for? Highest paid catcher of all time, getting like 23 AAV or some shit like that. So I mean, straight up. You like it or what? Obviously.
Me, I've been wanting JT back. Everybody wants JT back, but when they traded for him, I was like, I love the catcher position specifically. So it's my favorite player. It's my favorite position. They get him back, and they get him way cheap. I mean, honestly, because of the pandemic, they get him back way cheaper than what he wanted. He wanted like a $200 million contract.
Yeah.
You can't get that shit nowadays. So we got him way cheaper than what. I don't see any complaints. People are complaining about the length because of the knees of catchers, and he's like 30 already, or he's right around 30. Like, it's all right. He'll be fine, dude.
Catchers like him, you can move to first if you have to.
Yeah, dude. Like, you've seen Joe Mauer do it. Posey does it now. I don't even think Posey catches anymore. He might here and there, but
no, he's prime time first baseman now.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So you'll save that bat somewhere, and they got that young catcher. They got Knapp still. So Knapp balled last year for whatever damn reason. So I fucking love the move, though. It makes Bryce happy. So next up, sign Didi.
Well, you have no fucking choice now. Andrelton Simmons ended up signing with the Twins for, I think, like 1 year, 11 mil. And what literally just came out about an hour ago, right before recording this, they said that their primary plan is to sign a shortstop from the outside. And then they're going to be second base is going to be a Segura-Kindry competition.
Yeah.
So Kindry probably won't win it out just because Gene always bats pretty high average, pretty good average, and his defense is good enough for second base. So I mean,
better than Kindry's. He's a better all,
absolutely
better fielding, better bat, way better bat. Hopefully, he can back up to like that 300 average. But
absolutely, and I mean, dude, this JT signing is huge. I mean, we finally got what we wanted. Took longer, but hey, it makes it more of an attraction for people to come here when you have players like that on your team. I still think this team has a lot more they need to do. They need at least to get one more starting pitcher and a relief arm, I think, before they can actually succeed.
If you did that, then you could live with your outfield being like a Hazley, Quinn, and Harper. Obviously, Harper's great, but the other two are iffy. So you could live with that, but if they don't do that, you know what I mean? I'm going to keep advocating for it, Benintendi, and maybe just add another arm in the bullpen. They for now they can probably get away with their starting rotation. Spencer Howard will probably have a great year this year. And I mean, Nola is usually pretty good, but hopefully he can find that form, just stay consistent all year, and same with Wheeler. So,
absolutely.
Eflin's my guy. I've been high on Eflin out of that stinky rotation between him, Pivetta, and Velasquez. I always loved him the most. So
yeah, Vinny V's back again.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I was a big Pivetta fucking fan, and he never panned out for me, like a little fucking asshole. But I don't know, man. I hope they can do something because like they have a lot that they can, like McCutcheon too. I don't know what they're gonna do with him.
Is DH this year or no DH?
I don't think they've decided yet because they're saying the season might not start till like May.
Personally, a lot of people disagree with me, but I'm old school when it comes to that. I know people don't think pitchers should bat, but they play on the field. They should bat, to be honest, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes it fun come World Series time, too, because you got to watch each team change their lineups when you go from one stadium to another. So I like it personally. Universal DH would be cool. It would definitely make the bats better and the NL way better, but I don't really care.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, hey, hopefully within the upcoming next few days, we'll see, even if it's an Arrieta come in, Tanaka, James Paxton. I mean, hopefully something for starting pitching, and then you can talk about like Trevor Rosenthal, Ken Giles types guys in the bullpen. If you can get lucky and try and pull one of those guys in, because they're still sitting out there. They're just waiting for the right money.
Bring Giles back, baby.
Absolutely. Started here. Might as well bring him back.
100 miles Giles.
I don't think he's like that anymore, but hey.
He's still young now.
Yeah, I mean, imagine him right next to Alvarado and Bradley now. It'd be nice. It'd be real nice. But Neris goes from your number 1 closer to your number 4 guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Solid bullpen.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll see how that goes in the next few days. But hey, even bigger this week. We talk about them each week. They're our number 1 topic. This team is finally fucking set in stone and ready to do something with the draft, everything. The fucking Eagles, bro. Got their head coach, got their OC, got their DC. One underrated signing that I want to talk about after you talk, and then they got their QB coach too. But I think who do you think is going to make the biggest like game changer, I guess, for this? Who's going to be better for us? And if you liked all their signings that they made.
I like all the signings personally. I didn't get to do all my research on all of them, but I was a big Jim Schwartz advocate. But he's gone, whatever. I know it was time for that whole regime to go, but that dude was great personally. His numbers don't lie. I think Jonathan Gannon's going to be a beast. He plays to players' strengths. Apparently, he's going to be blitzing a lot, which Eagles fans always call for. So I think we're finally going to have a D coordinator in here. Like, it might not be Jimmy Johnson style, but it's going to be similar to those years where we used to be so high on defense. I mean, the defenses will never be like what it was back in the day, even us growing up. But apparently this dude's the real deal. Like, apparently this is like, if he does good and he's successful in Philly, he's going to have a head coaching position in 2 to 3 years.
Absolutely.
So you're hearing shit like that already. That's great news. And then, a lot of people, like I see, like, I don't know if it's LA fans or people around the league, they're like, thank God Shane Steichen's gone, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I mean, dude, Justin Herbert, first of all, he didn't play the first game. And he got thrown into the fire the second game because of that lung puncture or whatever happened, like that malpractice that happened on Tyrod Taylor.
Where they gave him needles before the game.
This dude posted, 31 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, like 4,600 passing yards. And they're saying they feel like he held the offense back. How could you hold the offense back with those type of numbers, you know?
Absolutely not.
And it wasn't like they lost, and I'm pretty sure, like, under Anthony Lynn, it was, like, every year consistently. Like, the Chargers have lost the most one-possession games, so it's not like they're just like, oh, they're losing games and get blown out and this dude's padding stats. Like, no, they're in competitive games. What was it? They were blown out, I think, the Saints at one point, like up 21-0. I think they lost that too. But this dude's he's on a rope rolling out the pocket like you'd see like prime Wentz or Mahomes or Rodgers doing, throwing it. So, like, I mean, I like him. I like that. Yeah. I like Nick too. Nick's my guy. You know, I told Dill before the episode, I'm not going to get strongly opinionated on this. I know social issues can be a big deal for people and a touchy-feely subject, so I'm just going to say it like this. We love Deuce, and there's something about this city where we love former players, and whether we want them back in our front office or in coaching positions or this and that, I completely understand. This man sat stagnant in a position for 8 years. And then he gets the assistant to the head coaching position. And there's been no reports, but just to think about it, like, Doug didn't change anything. And if you're the assistant to the head coach, you're not even in Doug's ear trying to change shit. And why would you even want Deuce to be your head coach if you see how he handles his running back rotations? Like, you would see Miles in the first half, like, all game. And then in the second half, you wouldn't see him at all. So clearly there were some trust issues there, whether it was on Doug. but also Deuce as well if he really does handle the running back rotations. So I just want to say, like, you can say he didn't get the job and he was more qualified than Nick, and it was because of his skin color. That's completely false. You want to talk about like an Eric B type or a Todd Bowl. Todd Bowl is not even because his head coaching records poop, but you want to talk about like maybe a Byron Leftwich, people like that didn't get hired. All for it. We can discuss that. We can say maybe race played a part, but when it comes to Deuce Staley, the resumes don't compare.
Absolutely not.
Might have not have known who Nick Sirianni was. A lot of us didn't, so we can't put on a fake front. But his resume speaks for itself. He's technically from the Reed coaching tree one. Reed, arguably, he's gonna, depending on if he rips off a couple more Super Bowls, that's one of the greatest coaches ever. If
Absolutely.
not, I said he might be the greatest if he wins a couple more.
Absolutely.
He's coming from that tree. He was with Reich. Everybody that's worked around him is speaking so highly of him. And, yeah, he never called plays, but he had a lot of input on plays. And he just, like, a lot of the stuff you hear, like, some of his receiver work and stuff like that, like, it's amazing. Like, you don't, like, he would have probably had a job eventually somewhere, one way or another, even if it wasn't this year. And love Deuce, and he's on to his next job, and he's doing the same exact thing now. Same title and everything with a shitty organization. So, I mean, no offense to D and his Lions, but it's just a fact. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I mean, dude, I agree with you completely all around. It just doesn't compare. Like, I'm really all for this Nick Sirianni signing, dude. All for it. Once you read up and down his fucking list of what he's done for the past, I think, 10 years, it's just, dude, it doesn't compare to Deuce. And like you said, literally in 2018, they interviewed and they offered Deuce a shot at that head coaching position, and he denied it. So he denied, or 2016, not 2018.
Yeah.
So he stayed stagnant. It's like you said, he chose not to get the position. He had the opportunity and he denied it. But people don't want to read into all that. People don't want to get all the information. They don't want to look up the list. And that's just, it's not the way sports rolls. And well, I mean, we'll see how it plays out. But I think Sirianni was the best way to go. Shane Steichen, I do like it, but he's definitely the one that I would think the least, like the most worry about, I believe, like I would say.
100%.
It's a good hire. He's really good friends with Sirianni, apparently, because Sirianni was with the Chargers. He was their wide receivers coach and their wide receivers coach and something. I forget what the QB coach or something as well. And it's just, I mean, once you got your guys, you got the guys you can support and the guys that are going to be on your back, that's who you're going to bring in. And then Jonathan Gannon, obviously, he's been the DB, QB coach or the CB coach for the Colts. So obviously Sirianni's going to bring in his own staff. Like we mentioned before, obviously Sirianni is not this dude that is just like you staring before that you were saying to me the other day. He's not this yes man. You know what I mean? He literally, absolutely, like you said, just handpicked his staff piece by piece by piece by piece. Every single piece he wanted, he got. And there's no way you can't say that because you can see the relationships. If it was any other way, that's not who Sirianni or Lurie and Howie would have signed as OC and DC. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this dude has balls, clearly. I'm not going to give him the big balls label yet, like the Stan Marsh meme and put his face on him yet, but he literally told Howie and Lurie straight up. He said, if I'm literally, that's the report. He said, if I'm not picking my staff, I'm not coming. He literally said that, and he said, I'll wait for the right job to come along so I can do that. He's like, I don't have to take this job this year. I don't have to do this. And they were like on board with it. They let him pick. He picked all his personnel, all his staff. Hopefully, I mean, I heard he's already reached out to players too already, and players are loving him.
T.Y. Hilton.
They're saying he loves the energy he brings. So I mean, can't wait. I mean, don't know what's going to happen with the QB position now because they finally, their last position, they filled it in today, Brian Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
And, dude's known Hurts since he was 4. He's recruited him to the college. He was at OC, or I don't know what college it was, I forget, but he was the OC there for him, and one of them was college. It might have been, I don't know if it's Bama. Where
it had to be Bama, yeah.
I'm going to think Bama. And, you know what I mean? So he's so this could be, hey, Carson's exit out. It could be request trade where they're just moving on from him. And honestly, at this point, I worry about the cap, but the hit's well deserved at this point. If you really want to fix him, you wouldn't be doing shit like this. So you can never believe reports and go about whatever, but it is what it is at this point. Me personally, I'll give Hurts a shot, but I don't want to roll forward with Hurts. And
No.
and that's partially because I'm a big Wentz guy, but I said to trade Wentz too. I think there's only one day we'll get into this, maybe even later day. There's only 2 athletes in this entire town that I think are untouchable, and Wentz isn't one of them in my eyes. So I'm fine with moving on from him, but I also don't want Hurts as my QB. He's not accurate. Yeah, you could factor in a lot. It was a question mark coming out of college. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I had someone arguing with me. My one boy, he said he's not a run first QB. I said, have you seen his rushing stats in college? He's literally Lamar, but maybe could be a better passer than Lamar.
Yeah.
And we said he's a better passer than Lamar probably, but I don't actually firmly believe that.
I think Lamar's got the worst arm in the league.
Yeah, it's up there. So.
I mean, I definitely agree with you. I think Harper and Embiid, maybe Hart, are the only untouchables.
I was about to say I didn't even have. I mean, I think Harper technically is, but if the Phillies were being this poorly ran, I just had Embiid and Hart because the goaltender position in hockey, we've been starving for that for 30 years, and Embiid's the best big in the league.
Absolutely.
Of course, I'll add Harper in there too. I mean, we can throw him as the third option if they're going to keep building around this team, you know. But everybody in this city is pretty much movable except them 2 or 3 maybe.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. I mean, big shout definitely, and then I want to mention keeping Jeff Stoutland's huge. Obviously, I mean, dude, Lane Johnson, Brandon Brooks, they already came out basically ecstatic because they play hard for that dude. I mean, he's proved to us year after year after year, ranking top 10 for the last 10 years at the offensive line. So, I mean, you can't phase against it. He's one of the best offensive line coaches. He's going to get a better gig eventually, but keeping him is huge, especially with a brand new staff coming in from top to bottom.
Yeah.
So obviously mentioning Embiid, or we like to say MVP'd, because that man's the fucking legit. This team's fucking 0-4 without him. This team cannot win without him. I mean, it's weird when Ben and Joel are on the floor. They're like 12-1 together. When all 5 starters, they're 9-0, and all 5 starters are playing this year. But I mean, tonight they got a Lakers team that's 10-0 on the road coming to Philly. So we should see how it goes. But I don't fucking know what this team can do, dude. We were talking about Ben trades today, but what do you think?
So I mean, we can talk about the trades all day. And I said I'm going to stop. You know, I mean, we're on the pod, so we got topics to talk about, and Ben's always going to be a sore subject, kind of. You got to step up, dude. You got to be the man when Embiid's out, because I'm not even going to harp on Harden like I said that before. If you have like a Beal, though, and Beal's giving you his 35, and he's playing with the rest of this lineup, and I don't know who they add at PG, though. If you were to get rid of Ben, you're probably winning 2 of those games. You probably go 2-2, which is fine, dude. Owen, I saw it's 0-4, but I don't know the 4th game. Like, I know Cleveland, Memphis, and Detroit. I don't know the other one. So I think it's 0-3 this year, but everybody's saying 0-4. So I don't know what that 4th game is. I tried to look it up. I couldn't find it, but Ben just does. And someone said to me he barely played because he had 3 fouls early. Well, he played, but he got in foul trouble early. That's his fault, is it not?
Denver as well.
But B didn't play that game either, and Simmons
Nobody played that game. Yeah,
Simmons didn't play that game either. So, and we still almost won. Crazy, but you know what I mean? Like, he just doesn't step up, dude.
He's been abysmal, like very abysmal.
Like, you have these players, like, I don't know what you want to say when it came to Shaq and Kobe, but they were kind of just 2 alphas. It was like Batman and Batman. I can't even say Batman and Robin.
Absolutely.
Mike and Pippen. Pippen was great. Ben ain't even that to Embiid. And I'm not saying, like, if it was just – I think this is why I will argue people. Yes, if it was our old team and Ben's out and it's just Embiid out there with last year's team, we'd probably still lose games because at least Ben's was better than – but now you have a Seth, you have a Danny. Toby's playing out of his fucking mind. This is why
he really is. He's an all-star right now.
shooting 45 from 3, right under their 20-point mark, like 19.7 or something. I'm absolutely loving everything he's given us. The bench is great. Maxey, Shake, Dwight giving you 10, 12 boards.
15 rebounds a game.
Yeah, he's just a fat slob out there, just grabbing every board. He's not really fat. Dude, I'm done with the Ben slander. I'm just telling people, like, I'm not saying we can't win it all this year, but this starting 5, I got to see them play the other great teams now. Like tonight, Ben needs to step up. Yeah, Seth can give me 20, Toby, and then Bede, and maybe he gives us 10 and we still win. But I want to see him step up. We match up well against them. Like, everybody got hype over him balling against the Pistons. That could be a good confidence booster, but then he plays the Pistons the next night. And
without Bede.
What'd he do? And he hit 10 of his 12 free throws, dude. Like that one game when he had 20-something against the Pistons. And he had a nice stat line, and I don't get it, dude. I don't want to slander the guy anymore. I'm over him. I hope the starting 5 is good enough, and I hope we get to the finals eventually. We're gonna be talking about this all year, and every night B needs a rest. Hopefully he steps up. I doubt it. I just haven't seen it yet. So,
well, so you knew this rest was coming the second game against Detroit. You beat them once. You know the rest is coming before a big game against the Lakers. You know it's going to happen. The dude's averaging 28 and 12, and he's carrying the team through some of these wins. Honestly, he really is. Him and Toby have been absolutely destroying it.
You're relying on your big down the stretch, like
absolutely
at the end of games. And Ben, a lot of it's coaching, in my opinion. Like, except the Boston game. The Boston game, Ben took over then, but there was no Tatum. Granted, not saying they beat us, but there's no Tatum. But Ben took over those last 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah,
he doesn't do that often. He's usually non-existent in the last 4 minutes. Just give me that all the time, dude.
Even if it's half a quarter per quarter.
You don't need to be great the whole game, but if you suck for 4 minutes and then you're good another 4 minutes, whatever, that's going to happen. But he's just not consistent, and it's annoying. It's frustrating.
Well, yeah, you have the game without Embiid, and he goes for 11, 4, and 4.
Yeah.
Like, you're not you can't even get those assists and those rebounds that you're normally pulling in that are actually difference makers than people think. Like I said, I'm okay with him putting up 12, 10, and 10 if he's being aggressive and he's getting to the line and he's supplying more to the other players. But if he's not and he's putting 4 and 4 up when you're 7 foot tall, and Embiid's not playing, there's no shot. It's terrible. It's been an abysmal performance, and it's just like I said, my dream scenario today, right now. I don't know. Like people say how it was going around today. Beal doesn't like his situation. I don't think it's true. I think he loves DC. I think he's just really frustrated with Russ. I would be frustrated with Russ.
You don't love DC.
He signed the money last year for a reason.
Of course, you're going to sign that money, but wasn't it like a 3-year contract?
I'm not sure. It's a lot, though. There's a reason he averages the most points per game in the NBA.
Agreed. And he does it efficiently. Like, people can say whatever they want. Like, he's averaging 48% on 35%. You know how hard it is? I have another one, too. Like I said, I don't always like to go on my phone. I screenshotted a few today because right when you said something about Beal, I was like, you know what? Let me go look this man up.
Yeah, man. My dream scenario would be Ben for him and then bring in like a D Rose. I'm telling you.
Do you even want to hear his last 5 games? 39.8 points average his last 5 games. 51% field goal percentage in his last. That's crazy. You're hitting over half your shots. That's nuts. It's wild. B doesn't even do that. Or maybe he does this year, but I don't know.
He's pretty close, yeah.
Yeah, he's probably pretty close this year. He's really efficient. But there's players in the league. That's hard as shit to do. 5 assists. It's good for
whatever.
a 2.
He's a shooting guard.
It's good for a 2. And the sad part is the Wizards have lost 4 of those games. DC is never going to be good unless they're so bad. Like, I don't even know who the top overall pick out of this draft is going to be. And it doesn't matter. You're not getting some transcendent player like a LeBron or like Luka was great his rookie year. You're not getting like a Luka. You're not getting
like a Tatum. There's not even any
Ben.
kind of
Ben didn't play. Yeah, Tatum was crazy. Ben didn't play his first year, but you could tell he was going to come in and make an impact. But he's been stagnant. His growth has been stagnant. But they're not even getting like a Ben. If they got like a Ben, they would be like a playoff team. But dude, he wants out, dude. You can see it on his face. Like, I feel bad for the guy. I think a while ago I said I wouldn't do Ben for him straight up. I feel like I would need more value there, but I think the value's there with what the guy's averaging.
Mm-hmm.
You lose the Ben defense, but like I said before, whether it was the Harden situation, you're getting a guy who can drop 35, 40, 50 right now, and he's 27. What's Ben, 24? Or is Ben 22?
Ben's 20. He's 25 or 24.
I think he's 24.
24, yeah.
So he's 3 years older than Ben. He's polished. He's a vet at this point. I'd take a D Rose. I love that idea.
Absolutely.
I love that idea more than, and I know you're not, but I'd say like Lonzo's on the block. Lonzo probably ain't gonna go for much. He shoots the three at least. He's another one that lacks aggressiveness though. If he was aggressive, he'd be a lot better.
He's been stagnant as well.
That's what I'm saying. If you added a Beal and then you add Alonzo, you have a guy here with the new coaching staff who's working with everybody. Like, look at Toby. Toby's like the next step. Maxi's great this year. I mean, I didn't know.
Shake's unbelievable.
Shake's unbelievable. Like, you're seeing it with everybody but Ben, really. Like, Ben's just himself still. Actually, his points are down. I don't know about his assists because some nights I think he's not assisting as much as he should. But in games, it really doesn't matter, I guess. You know, wins what matters at the end of the day. But playoffs, it's going to be a different ballgame. But
because you have to control it.
Take the D Rose over Lonzo 110%. But Lonzo's out there. He plays great defense. He's like 6'6", and he's just as good as a passer as Ben, in my opinion. I'm not saying he's some elite fucking playmaker point guard, but he would be good here, I think. Like, that's all I'm saying. I think the coaching staff could really help him. He's young. He has potential. The only thing is, me and my boy were talking, Squally, the media would fucking kill a guy like that. So I think I'd rather like a Rose, Beal, and I hope Morey does something like that because you're going to find out tonight and you're going to find out when we play like the Nets again. And we haven't played the Nets yet. We played them upcoming.
We played them once. No, we played them once without KD. And
we didn't play them with Harden yet or anything.
They beat us without any of them.
They beat us without any of their stars.
Yeah.
Crazy. And we had all our starters. Crazy. I think except Seth, but I don't know.
That's the only thing that scares me with the Beal is I think bringing in a Beal pushes Seth to the bench, which is you can't move him. You can try and move him to 3, or you can run a Beal Seth.
Probably move Toby to. Toby's our power now, I think.
Toby's our 4 now. Yeah.
Yeah, he's our 4 now.
And Danny's been playing the 3.
So what you could do is, I'm sure you could do it. You move Danny to bench. Seth stays your 2. I don't know who your point guard is though. I don't know if you just fill Maxey in for the time being. Because like I said, like I love Maxey. If we were talking like maybe next year or the year after, but he's a rookie, and rookies struggle still, especially.
I think Shake would get the start probably.
Shake's better in his role now. Like he's not a point guard. He's better.
I know he's a 6-man.
Shot off, scoring, and yeah, dude. I think you would just Beal could be your 3, your 2, Toby your 4, beat your 5, and you bring maybe there's other vet PGs out there. I have to look around. Like I haven't. To be honest, I haven't really been doing my research. Like, do a little more research because this could be a possibility. Like, don't let if this trade's out there and you want to Harden, we're not getting Harden. It's long gone. There's nobody else out there you're gonna get. You can't even like. I would have loved like a Booker. Like I would do Ben for him straight up. You're not getting a Booker. You're getting a guy who's 27. He's averaging 35. I think you gotta pull the trigger on that.
You need to win now. It's a win now move.
And if you get him, and you keep a lot of this team and this roster. Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
I think the biggest thing is they'll probably do this. It'll probably be the same type of Harden deal. They're probably going to take a Simmons and a Maxey and 2 firsts, and it'll end up being a 3-team deal somehow.
I would do because they didn't. The original rumor was, they wanted Maxey, they were whatever, but they never wasn't ever included. They were given Simmons and Tease. I do that. I do Simmons and Tease, and if you had to give up a Maxey, it's hard to say, like, yes. But, I mean, dude, at this point.
If you want to win now, you have to do it.
Yeah. And then I think you save that Maxey, though, and then you go out and you maybe, like, dude, I don't know what guys even go for anymore around the league. I feel like some of the trades that happen are so dookie. It's like.
So poop.
The same thing with MLB, like. We're not going to talk baseball, but, like, what did the Mets give up for Frankie Lindor? Like, we could have gave that up. We could have had him.
Yeah.
What it is. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like just around the leagues, for the most part, you see these players, except, like, the NFL, where they actually value picks and shit. They go for fucking nothing. And you could get a D Rose or, like I said, I'll look for other point guards, but I'm going to say Lonzo for now. I know a lot of people hate Lonzo because his dad, like, they don't actually hate him, but so be it.
It's a media thing.
Yeah, so be it.
I mean, hopefully we can see how that comes out because, man, unless Simmons steps the fuck up, they got to do something.
Or a big trade.
Yeah.
So
that happens. Always do something. So, I mean, the other team, the other one that's competitive right now. So the Flyers last night, they moved to 4-2-1. They got their second loss of the year the other night, which was another loss, which is another spanking. Second loss, second spanking of the year to the hands of the Bruins, 1-6.
Escalated quickly as hell, dude.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. All around, the defenders looked fucking like they were skating slower than I could. Carter Hart had his – I mean, so my biggest thing that I want to ask you, because you're obviously going to talk more on this than I am, my biggest thing, I guess, would be what do you think about a young rookie like that, his breakdown, you know what I mean? Do you like seeing that this early?
I didn't know this. My boy told me this. He commented on my feed. He was like, I shared it. And I was like, I like it. Like, it's fire. This is going to, like, hopefully, like, the team sees his frustration, realizes it's not always on. It's not all on him. Because, like, people, like, will try to fault G. Like, you always see, like, the idiots. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, Drew's tradable, or they probably don't bring him back when his contract expires, whatever. Love him. We'll get to him in a few. But what I'm saying about G is people always say he's not a great leader, or you don't know how he leads. The players in the locker room advocate for that guy 9 times out of 10. He's a good captain. I would love to know what's going on in that locker room, or what happened after that, or what he said, because I'm sure he gives speeches. He's not like the fiery up type. He's more of a – I'm sure he's like more smart, logical type thinking. He's there for you. And I know that for a fact because I remember it was last year. It was preseason. We played that team. It was like a Denmark team or some shit. And we fucking got spanked by them like 4-0. It was right before we played in Prague and against the Blackhawks to open the season. And we got spanked by they're pro team, but NHL's the best league in the world. You should beat that team.
Absolutely.
And everybody was freaking out. Like, they lost like 4-0 to this team. Blah, blah, blah. Hart played. I don't even think he played bad. I mean, I think he let up a few question marks. But and you see G at the end of the game go tap him on the head, say, dude, like, cheer up. This wasn't on you. This was us. Like, it was a bad – like, that's good leadership. I feel like this is the same thing. Like, Hart is positioned, like I said, it could be a little better at times. He's young. He's going to be fine. We're going to get it together midway through the year. I'm confident. We're not even healthy right now. We're not healthy. We're missing our best forward. I know this team goes deep. It's no excuse. You're missing your best forward and your second best defenseman. So, Hart's going to get it together. I don't like to see the frustration. I'm a little all over the place. I liked it, but apparently he said he never wanted to break his stick. Like, that was like a rule he made. Like,
yeah, that's what he said.
I don't know if it was with his dad or something. Like, he never wanted to do that. He never wanted to ever do that out of frustration, anything. Well, dude, you let in 6 goals. They kept him in, obviously. I knew he was staying in.
They knew Elliott was playing the next game.
Yeah, exactly, which was a good move. And, dude, it's good to see the frustration, though. Like, to see him pissed off. He's going to come back better. He's not a dude that's, like, mentally, like, he doesn't get rattled like that. I feel like mentally the kid's poised. He's poised for greatness. I think he's going to come. I think he plays tomorrow. We're going to see some – I said we need – these 2 games are must wins because the Isles have our fucking number. And I don't know why. For one guy's name, they play a good system. Barry Trotz is a great coach. They have some good players, but they have an incredible team. They play an annoying-ass trap system, like a modern-day trap, hard to score, hard to beat with great goaltending. I would like to see us looking down the road in that series take 1-1, but ideally 2 always, but it doesn't always happen.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, I mean, my biggest positive that I got out from all of this is that you've mentioned before that from previous seasons, the biggest issue was that, so they got that shootout loss, which they looked absolutely brutal in, and then you get the spanking, but then they come back and they win 4-2 over, like you said, a really good Devils team.
Yeah,
so
they're good. I don't know why.
Yeah.
They have a new coach, new system. Jack Hughes didn't look good last year, but you got to give young guys time, even if they're the
Mhm.
first or second pick. Like, people got to be patient with Nolan. Look at Nolan this year. Nolan looks great, and he missed all that time. Coots took year. He wasn't a 1 or 2 pick. He was, I think, like late first. Or no, he's like 13th, like mid first, I think. You got to give guys time. Like, people wanted to trade Coots, and look how fucking great that guy is. He's the best two-way forward in the league. And you saw it with Jack Hughes this year. He's like 7 points in his first fucking 8 games or 7 games or something. He's balling. Devils team scrappy as hell. They fought back yesterday. Thank God we found an answer when they came and tied us, and we won. I mean, I'm a little worried about how they're playing right now. I'm kind of piping down my expectations because, like, I do have a feeling we go on a serious cup run this year. But for now, this team I guess they did outplay the Devils yesterday. It's probably the second game. It's like the second complete overall game they played this year for us.
I think they outplayed them first and third period. The second period, they looked brutal.
Wasn't the second period? I think the second period. Did they tie us in the second?
Yeah, you got 2-2 in the second period. And then that was the one really weak Elliott goal that he let up.
Trickled through somehow. I don't know how.
Yeah. But, I mean, it started off with 2 quick power play goals. Side stat, fucking JVR has 4 power play goals on the season. Leads the league. Crazy.
460 last year. He's 4-7 this year. Fucking love it.
Crazy. But, I mean, hey, Provy and JVR obviously on that power play line look nasty right now.
Not going to complain about how Ghost looked last night. He apparently had a good training camp. Then COVID hit him. He's finally healthy. I'm hoping Ghost, like that Eric Gustafson time, like, I get why they signed him because there's always rumors they want to trade Ghost. And, like, I'm one of those people that kind of is like, we'll trade him because he hasn't been anything since, like, his rookie year. He's had, like, one other good year since. I hope this kid comes back. Let him play next to Provy because Provy's so sound defensively. Let him find his offensive game. He might not be on the first power play, which sucks because that's where he made his bread and butter earlier on in his career. But at this point, maybe he'll be better. It's weird. Most people's offensive game comes with their defensive game. No, this dude's defensive game comes with his offensive game. So I like the way he looked yesterday. You lose Myers, you gain him back, you scratch Gus, and the defense looked better as a whole, in my opinion. Now, when you get Myers back, the D could be a lot better. I still think they need to make a trade. I don't know who, but they need to make a defensive
trade. Now DeBoer and Patrick Lane both just got traded for each other, so
that trade was not even good. Like, we could have offered better value, but I think that's what I'm saying. He's a free agent at the end of the year, so if they want to sign a goal scorer and tie money into a guy that wants a lot of money, they'll do it.
Absolutely. And, I mean, hey, I don't know about you, but I'm super fucking excited for the rest of these. Like, these seasons are getting flowing, bro. So, I mean, we're going to have a lot to fucking talk about. It's going to be fucking fun. But, you know, our new take, our new fucking little sequence that we got going for the weeks now, our hot takes of the week. I have 2 because I had 1, and then some shit came out yesterday, and I was like, fuck, I got to add 1 in. So you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
You go first.
All right. So honestly, like I said, like last week, fuck Howard Eskin and fuck ESP on fucking Twitter. 2 of the dumbest dudes I fucking know. This dude, ESP. So this is kind of just like my load thing, and then my second one is kind of my main one now because it's just annoying. But so ESP goes on Twitter, and he said that he would strongly consider taking Kyle Pitts at number 6.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
Now, don't get me wrong. I believe Kyle Pitts, he's a hybrid tight end. He's going to be a fucking stud no matter where he goes. Whether he goes to the 49ers, that'd probably be a good spot for him. But you don't draft him at number 6 when he's probably going to go 15 when you have a situation like Ertz and Goddard already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just dumb as fuck. He's not a player that fits our needs at the moment.
Nah, dude. Even if Ertz is gone, you still have Goddard, and you can just draft the tight end later or sign.
And you have a dude like Perkins that plays fine.
Or bring Richard Rodgers back.
Richard Rodgers. That's what it is. Why I say Perkins.
Not the best, overall, but I'd bring him
dude
back.
Gets the job done. He's always open.
Yeah.
But I mean, besides that, that's just my side one. My hot take is how this season in the MLB, nobody got selected to the Hall of Fame. Kurt Schilling, Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens. Those were the top 3. You needed 75% to get into the MLB Hall of Fame, and not one person hit 75% voting. So now Kurt Schilling and Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens, they all moved to their final year of eligibility next year to even have a chance to get into the Hall of Fame. Good chance they make it because you get a percentage each year higher. But Kurt Schilling already said he's gonna fucking vouch away for it, move himself off the ballot because he knows it's bullshit. Kurt Schilling deserves to be in the Hall of Fame
because people aren't voting for him because of his political views.
Yes. Barry Bonds deserves to be in it.
Barry Bonds, you can't tell the story of the MLB without Barry Bonds.
Absolutely. It's just it's bullshit.
The dude was so great, and yeah, he ended up taking roids, and I get it. Mm-hmm. Roids make the game a lot funner, people. I fucking don't like them, certainly, but they make the game a lot funner. And you had guys like Sosa, McGuire, they're hitting home runs. Steroid era, obviously. And you had the best all-around player. It's kind of like Trout now. Like, people acknowledge Trout's the best player. And, yeah, MLB does post him up a lot, but people still, like, ignore him. Like, they talk about all these other stars. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like if you look at, like, the NHL, they're always talking about Crosby still. Or they're talking about every other fucking post. You talk about the NFL, it's Pat Mahomes every other week. It's maybe a Tom Brady post here and there. Maybe or not, but mostly Pat Mahomes. NBA. Dude, still LeBron James. You got your other stars like KD's been back and Giannis, but they suck off their certain players. And when it comes to MLB, that's how it kind of was. It was Sosa, McGuire, and they're getting all the spotlight. Meanwhile, your best player ever, or not ever, your best player in the league all around, defensively, batting, everything was Barry Bonds, and he wasn't getting any of the love. And that's probably why that man, part of the reason why that man went to go take roids, because he was jacking balls no matter what, but
he wasn't getting respected.
Yeah, he wasn't getting the respect.
He hit more home runs before his steroid era than he did during his steroid era. So the people that actually look it up, it's just fucking stupid. I don't know, he ousted himself once it started and he got caught. It's just bullshit to me because not even outside him, like I mentioned, Schilling and Clemens, like if you think of just like 2-3 franchises that are like the cover face of the MLB, who would they be? Probably like Yankees, Red Sox, maybe like Cardinals, you know?
Yeah, Cardinals or
Cubs.
If you're saying like of the league right now, or
no, just like you look at the MLB of past, present.
I'd go Yankees, Sox, especially now still.
Yeah,
and Cards are always up there. They're just like. Mm-hmm. They're like the America's baseball city or some shit like that. My dad always tells me because he's a big baseball is his favorite sport. But I'd probably get Dodgers. Yeah, that would be my third probably because you had the Brooklyn Dodgers and how all that translated. You know, I'll learn my history more. You know, that's what we're doing here. Besides just giving our thoughts every week, I'm learning more about sports. But they go over to LA and they're still like their logo, their uniforms, like there's a lot of history there.
Absolutely. Everybody reps them because of what they did for the city.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest thing is you pick one, you pick the Red Sox, who are two of their most known pitchers two of their greatest pitchers of all fucking time. Kurt Schilling and Roger Clemens.
Roger Clemens 20 strikeouts in a game or something the one time. It was like a record. It was fucking nuts.
It's fucking stupid. You're pulling two of the greatest pitchers from one of the greatest teams in MLB history, and they can't get into the Hall of Fame because of a political view or a harassment or false harassment thing that I think Roger Clemens had or something. It's bullshit. I mean, I understand the things they did is not perfect, but like when you think of baseball past the baseball pastime, you can't not mention these fucking players without – you just can't because that's what they made baseball what it is now, the way that they were. I mean, so that's my hot take of the week. It's bullshit. Hopefully they get in next year, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah. So, all right. Mine's – I don't know if it's like a take. It's an article.
Mm-hmm.
So you would think this – really we curse on here, but – this jabroni. Mike Miss is a jabroni, too.
Mike Miss is a jabroni.
Blocked me on Twitter. Prick. whatever conversation for maybe later or something. But Mike Lombardi, he's a local writer. He's American. He's I had pulled off my phone. I didn't save it, but I knew I had it in my head for the whole week. He's he's an American football executive and media analyst. Well, you would think this jabroni would learn. You wrote an article about Doug P. when they hired him, saying it was a bad hire, saying, oh, how are you going to hire this dude who's never called plays? Newsflash, Andy Reid got hired. He never called fucking plays, dude. And look at him, one of the greatest coaches ever. He's on the Mount Rushmore of coaches in the NFL. And then you got Doug P. I mean, hey, he's gone now. We said our thanks. Love Doug still. Wanted him gone, but love him. Brought us our first Lombardi. So how are you going to say – so, like, you think this dude would learn after that. Like, he brought us our first Lombardi. No. He fucking insists on writing an article about Nick Sirianni saying it's a bad hire and you're handing the key over to a guy who's never called plays. You just said this 5 years ago, bro. Oh, my God. Like, I want to – like, who lets these people do these jobs? Like, everything's a clickbait, this and this and that. And it's sickening. It's maddening. Give me this man's credentials because I could do his job 10 times better. You can write an article, but let's be blatantly honest about it. Let's not say, oh, it's a bad hire and like he's no McDaniels, this and that. Like sorry, like I wanted Josh, but whatever. I'm fine with this hiring. When I feel for the first time in my life about an Eagles coach. I didn't feel good about Doug. He brought us to the Super Bowl. It was completely wrong. And Chip, I liked a lot what Chip said, and I was a Chip fan eventually.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like crazy in love with the hiring then. And now I'm like, I love this dude already. Like, I feel like I'm gonna want to run through a wall for this dude.
Absolutely.
So, that's just a horrible take. It's a horrible take.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's gonna find out because now this same with Miss. I hope Miss finds out because he was one of the ones. He's like the only one on the airways. Him and Tyrone, and I like Ty complaining about this is the other one. It's not really take. They're like, I'm trying to go back to the racing. He's complaining that Deuce was more qualified than Sirianni.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now if Sirianni wins, I'll tell you what. Miss is going to get if we win one bowl with him, Miss is going to get a fucking 5-minute phone call every day for a whole year straight from me saying about how fucking wrong he was about how he's more qualified because the Eagles are going places. We got to be patient with this dude. We're such an in town. It's time to be patient. I'm sick of it. We run every athlete
every franchise athlete out of town.
It's crazy, bro. Like, trade him. That's the first word you hear. Or strip him in the sea, dude. I can't shout it out because we're probably almost done this. Shout out to Claude Giroux. He's the longest tenured athlete, or I think he's the longest tenured athlete in the city. Longest
tenured captain as well.
And he's the longest tenured captain. He just passed Bob Clark last night. He was player of the game last night, well-deserved, had a couple of apples, heads-up play with a lot of patience and Nolan for the go-ahead goal. That's what a captain does in big moments. They step up. I know he hasn't always stepped up in playoffs as of late. I love that dude with all my heart. Whether he wins a cup here or not, I got to say that. And I'm tired of every week I go on, strip him of this. You're not in the locker room. That goes back to my leadership thing, though. You're not in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
And people love him. They say he's a great captain. And then, he passed Bob Clark for most games as a captain. And people are like, well, he's no Bob Clark. Obviously, he's no Bob Clark. Bob Clark's one of the best hockey players ever. Not that Giroux's not going to – Giroux should be a Hall of Famer, but not that he's not going to be any of that. But, obviously he's not on Bob Clark's level. Like, nobody says that. Why are you even comparing the two?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's different times, too. The game's a lot different. Bob Clark scoring on goalies who played just in the stand-up position alone. The goals weren't even nice back then. It was like putt-putt, dude. You're hitting the puck into the net. These guys have to snipe the puck. Like, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the more, like we say all the time, like my thing that I say to you all the time is I don't believe a word the media says until we hear it from the mouths of the player or the coach or anybody high up in the franchise. Like, I don't believe shit media says anymore because anytime one of these fucking bullshit ass writers from the bottom of the fucking basement that are trying to pull their pen and paper out, write some crazy shit so they get that clickbait so they can rise their stock up in the fucking company. It's all bullshit. They raise everybody's hair. Everybody gets all fucking excited because blah, it's something crazy, something we could talk about. No, It's fucking trash. It always trash.
Clickbait.
Half these dudes should be fucking fired because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
It's crazy because clickbait does get you more views because you write the way you word a headline. Bang, you're in there. But a lot of people I know like the logical aspect of things, and it might not always be entertaining. I give hot takes, Dill has. Maybe we'll start giving more, but I'm not trying to be that clickbait asshole. Like I said in the beginning of the year, and it's not looking stupid right now. I'll have to look back at what episode I said it. I did say Shake Milton, 6th man of the year.
Yeah, we did. We talked about that.
Beginning of the season, I said this man's going to be 6th man of the year, and right now, that shit's looking hot as fuck.
Looks good, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Hey, we pull receipts out all the time.
Yeah,
just got to remember.
I'll be wrong about Ben. Shake might be right, though, so it balances out.
Who knows? Hey, world goes round for a reason. But hey, that's what wraps up this week. So, I mean, I'm super excited, dude. Fucking Lakers Sixers tonight. We get another round of the Devils tomorrow with the Flyers. Fucking then you have, I think by next week we'll have both the Isles games out.
We'll have pressers for Sirianni, so we'll do deep dives into that. Here, what he said. You'll probably have pressers for every guy. I'm probably, to be honest, I probably should, but I'm not going to watch I'm going to watch the Sirianni presser.
Yes.
Hopefully, just like I wasn't as frustrated as everybody, hopefully Wentz just speaks out, whether it's him saying I'm out, I'm done with the franchise. Like, I get he's like, people are saying like whatever about him. He's classy, dude. He puts himself above that shit. Like, I'm not trying to sound like I'm like loving up on this dude, but that's how he is. He always takes the high road. He doesn't want to speak. Well, hopefully he speaks finally, because I'm getting frustrated with it. Just come out and speak, bro.
Yeah.
I just want to know, do you not want to be here or not? So whether we're going with Hurts or we're drafting a QB this year, or I don't want to always root for a season to go bad, but I'll root for a season to go bad next year for a guy like Sam Howell, baby.
For a guy like Sam Howell, baby. Hey, we got those combos. We got the receipts. We'll pull them up if we have to. You know what I'm saying? Fucking, hey, that's all she wrote, though. You know what we hit them with? We hit them with the shout outs at the end. You know, Heart of Philly, as always. Shout out Death by Bananas 3.
Like,
subscribe, follow. Remember to do that shit so y'all never miss an episode ever again.
We love, because the people that listen to this, put us on your Instagram.
Yes, sir.
Put us right up on there. Share it. Tag us. Do whatever. I mean, I know it's asking a lot, maybe. I appreciate the listens. They're more than enough. But we want to get out there. We want to get to a new public. We have our friends and family, for those that listen, but we want random people on here, even if they don't like what we're saying, but still listen, because they want to hear the dumb shit they might think we said. We don't say dumb shit, but you know what I mean? Yeah,
I mean, hey, but for who does listen, we appreciate you guys. We can't thank you guys enough. Hopefully this gets more and more each week. You know what we're trying to say. We have a lot in our heads that we want to make this into, and we're super fucking excited. I hope you guys stay supporting. That's all we got. Peace.